Gold Squad TV, breaking news based on reports, multiple reports, according to Matt Sullivan and other reports. The Brooklyn Nets might be willing to move Kyrie Irving during the off season due to new ownership not liking Kyrie Irving's um, views at certain points in time during and some of his antics that he had during the season. They might be willing to listen to offers to move him. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even shocked. He has 2 years left on his deal. Um, a lot of people sit there and say, "Well, yeah, but the whole plan is for Kyrie and KD to stay together." But actually, if you really think about it, it would actually make sense for them to move Kyrie in a sense because Kyrie's a ball dominant guard, and a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie's still on the roster. I thought Dinwiddie was a free agent, but actually he's not. Dinwiddie's still on the roster, and Dinwiddie's more of a pass first guy. Although he's nowhere near the talent Kyrie Irving is, they might be able to get some pieces back in Brooklyn that help the depth situation that they lost when they got rid of Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and those guys when they traded for Harden. I think consensus is that although Kyrie Irving's the more clutch of the guys in Brooklyn, between him and Harden, D'Antoni and Steve Nash might be a little more biased towards Harden because Harden knows how to run the system. And new ownership, is not too fond of Kyrie's disappearing acts during the season. Um, these reports have just come in recently. It's today. They're not really making big waves. However, I would not be surprised one bit if Brooklyn did it. And honestly, put my biases or my issues aside for Kyrie, I could see it happening because Kyrie has a tendency to like bail. He bounces, he doesn't let the team know. Regular season wise, he doesn't really want to play. Postseason, he'll be all for playing, but the regular season, as talented as he is, he only plays like 30, 40 games max. And James Harden's more of a Iron Man. He's a guy who don't really miss games outside of the hamstring injury and some little minor injuries had this year. He really don't miss games. Like I said, they won more when Harden was point guard. Whether Durant was playing with Harden or Kyrie was playing with Harden. And Kyrie might be the odd man out. This is really not like a big three league anymore, much how it was maybe a decade ago, because depth is a lot more coveted right now. You really need a bench. Brooklyn realized that they were a little too top heavy this year. And although, yes, I do believe that they had Kyrie healthy and they would have had Harden healthy, they probably sweep Milwaukee, if not beat them in 5 games. But since that didn't happen and we don't live in a what if society, um, I think you might be seeing Kyrie moved. Now, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, cool. I know a lot of people will sit there and probably hear this video and probably think I'm just hating on Kyrie, but I've read the reports. There's multiple reports. There's just smoke to this fire here. They were thinking about moving him before Harden got there. And their ownership is not too fond of Kyrie's views and some of the things that Kyrie stands for. They're not really too fond of it. Now, do they? I'm sure they think he's an incredible talent, yes. But he also is the same dude that doesn't believe in Steve Nash as a coach, nor any head coach in this league for that matter. Before Harden got there, he basically tried to undercut the coach and said that we don't really have a head coach thing, which KD wasn't really saying, but it was him. It was Kyrie. And I think maybe considering Kyrie has so many injuries, the ankle injury as well, Kyrie's injury history on top of his antics, Brooklyn might not be willing to pay him the next 2 years. You're looking at $164 million for Kyrie Irving. If they could trade him and get depth back for their team, now they're a real serious threat. They're a super duper serious threat if they were to have a deeper team. Now you'll sit there and say, who can it get? No, listen. I ain't the GM, but I'm pretty sure they'll get a lot more pieces and a lot more depth for Kyrie Irving. You trade Kyrie Irving, you're gonna get a lot back. You know. So I also been hearing rumors of Kyrie possibly retiring. I've been hearing those rumors for a couple of years now. But Kyrie's already made it very known he's not trying to play into his mid 30s. He's not trying to play into his mid 30s, man. He has no intentions of playing in his mid 30s. So we, as soon as let's just say Brooklyn doesn't trade him, um, assume Brooklyn doesn't trade him. Those last 2 years, or even this year, because he has a player option after this year coming up, we might be seeing the last of Kyrie Irving in the league. That said, we'll see what happens. If you're gonna ask me, I bet that Kyrie stays, but it would not surprise me if he got moved. Let me just put it that way. Gold Squad TV. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys are gonna think.